On today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Simpsons 25, the Greatest Guest Stars Series 5, Tom Petty. Tom Petty is definitely one of those figures I'm glad was released in figure form because I've always loved Tom Petty. It looks like he comes with his guitar, which is kind of cool as well. He is a collectible action figure recommended for ages 14 and up and comes to us from the folks over at NECA Toys. Spin around the back of the package. Tom Petty was from episode 2 of season 14, the episode How I Spent My Summer Vacation, which also is the same episode that featured Homer Simpson and Lenny Kravitz. The air date, by the way, was November 10th, 2002. Your read-up says Homer and his fellow rock and roll fantasy campers were the real heartbreakers when rock legend Tom Petty tried to teach them how to write lyrics in season 14's How I Spent My Summer Vacation. Despite Tom's best efforts to make Homer appreciate and poignantly turn ballad about the state of American schools, Homer and his pals only want to sing about girls and legs who know how to use them. Other figures available, as we already mentioned, there's Lenny Kravitz, there's Homer Simpson, but there's also Milhouse Van Houten, Matt Groening, Adam West, Bart Simpson, and finally Stan Lee. To check out all of the other current products and merchandise that NECA Toys is checking out or producing, check out www.necaonline.com. That being said, Spy is going to take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Simpsons 25 of the Greatest Guest Stars Series 5, Tom Petty. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Tom Petty's one lone accessory is his guitar. One side painted black and silver, on the other side yellow, well, orange, and red. You can take his guitar, and one thing with other band or, singing characters, it seems like their bodies are specifically built and pre-posed to hold his weapons, but his guitar in this case. So while you could technically not display Tom Petty with his guitar, it would probably look a little awkward that he's strumming air and he's holding something. I think it's a good look, by the way, anyways, to have him displayed with a guitar. That's how I'm going to display him. Tom Petty has long hair and a beard, which is roughly about how he looks. I mean, maybe back in the... No, I was going to say back in the day, but Tom Petty's always pretty much looked like this. It is it is interesting to note that the coloring of his yellow seems like it's a little bit different than, let's say the likes of Adam West. Adam West has more of a yellow tone to him, whereas Tom Petty has a much lighter yellow. Kind of really makes him look a little more sickly, but Tom Petty's been more of a pale singer anyways, at least pale complexion. I am going to refrain from any sort of... I'm not going to review to melody, because the last thing I want to do is Tom Petty to recognize one of that in his songs and sue me. So I'm not going to do that. Stay with me. Oh no, I can't say that. It's a great looking figure though. Coloring wise, he maybe doesn't have as much going on for him as he just has a basic red shirt and he's got blue slacks. But I think once again, fantastic representation of the figure, representation of the character in figure treatment. This is every series seems to have had its own singer or some sort of band member. So I guess Series 5 here is represented by Lenny Kravitz. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's reach out camera here. Lenny Kravitz and, Tom Petty. And then Series 4, I think we had Weird Al and we had Elvis Costello. I mean, again, or was it Aerosmith? It might have been Aerosmith. But like every series, they've always got band characters. And I like that. I think that's neat. The question really to me is whether, let's say once they hit 25, question is whether Simpsons characters would still be released by NECA. I hope the answer to that is yes. NECA's already shown what they can do with the property, the Simpsons property. They've really taken it far beyond what Playmates was doing. Playmates, yes, were hitting the core characters of Simpsons. Your standard outfit Bart, your standard outfit Homer, your standard outfit Lisa, and so on and so forth. But I think NECA really captures more how they appear in the episode and not necessarily, giving us just the... Because, I mean, certain characters, Grandpa, and I always go back to Grandpa in the toy form, don't really think looked a lot like he did in the show. Whereas this, you take Tom Petty here, it looks like he was taken right out of the episode. So NECA, hopefully if these lines, the Simpsons continue to do well, NECA will produce it above and beyond the 25 greatest guest stars. And maybe, fingers crossed, maybe we'll actually get the core Simpsons characters released in figure form. When it comes to Tom Petty's articulation, we're getting a little off topic here. We'll put his guitar to the side. His head does rotate, although his head kind of sits on an angle, the way it's posed. You can rotate left and right, but that's about as far as you can go with it. His arms do rotate back and forth. You can kind of have his hand up as he's strumming his guitar, or just down. His other arm rotates also all the way around. No hand or wrist swivel. However, he does have a swivel in his waist. Tom Petty may not be everybody's, ideal. I would think diehard enthusiasts will probably be picking up any Simpsons figure that NECA produces, while maybe some more specific, collectors, I should say. Collectors might be more specific to one character over the other. You might gravitate towards the likes of like an Adam West over Tom Petty, but you got to admit though, NECA really still continues to produce very unique, very brightly colored, and very well proportioned characters, and really the truest form of what we could have gotten as a Simpsons figure. Today's Toy Spot, we were continuing our looks at the Simpsons 25 of the greatest guest stars. We're having a look today at Tom Petty. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots, and of course we're going to still have a look at Stan the Man Lee. He's coming around next. Thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.